Hey everyone, Aaron here. This is another surprise attack review, but it's not your typical surprise attack review. This is actually kind of a birthday gift to my friend Yuki. He's a subscriber to my channel, and honestly, he has supported me a lot on this channel. I mean, almost every video he watches at least. He really does, and he comments on every single video. And I'm not saying that everyone has to do that, but the people that are watching this that are not just him. You don't have to comment on every video, but he really does support me by doing so. And he'll if he doesn't do it right away, he'll go back and actually comment on my past videos, and I'm like, wow, dude, dude, it's really nice to see that. It's I give him credit. I make jokes because I'm then playing tag essentially with his comments, trying to reply to each one of them because I do like replying to all your guys' comments in general. But I'm like then replying to like 5 or 6 of my videos and having a comment, going, oh, whatever response I'm doing for that review. But yeah. So this review is mainly for you, man. But everyone else, hey, listen, you're also getting a review too. And what I'm reviewing today is my teen romantic comedy SNAFU. The Japanese name I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. I'm be honest with you, and I'm not even gonna get close to it, so I'm not gonna pronounce it that way. But this is a funny show. This is not your typical, the way they say romance and they say comedy. This is not your typical romance or comedy story. This is done something that I think anime needs to learn once in a while. You can do stories like this because it's just so unique in many ways, and that's both a blessing in disguise and also a curse in disguise too. I'm gonna get into that though why right now. So we have our main character. I'm gonna call him Hiki Hachimi. His name. I think his actual name is Higami Hachimi. But he is your typical loner. I mean, he is someone who's calculating, very cold, very distant to everyone. And every class I think has one like that. Even in college or in high school in general, you have one of those loner guys he's by himself. He's a lone wolf. He might not seem approachable. He's not a bad dude. And this goes towards Hickey because really, what's funny about him is he is very unapproachable. He makes jokes about how he wishes to be like that on purpose. He wishes to kind of observe life, not in a group per se, but in his own world in his own sense. This causes a lot of friction though with people. Namely, when he writes a paper one day, his language teacher actually gets really pissed off at him. And what she does is she makes him join a club. Now, this club, the only other member is Yukino, who's also very similar to Hiki. Or him, I'm like, sorry about that. He's also very similar to Hiki. She's the same way, but a little different per se. She's more calculating and a little bit smarter. But this club that his teacher forced him to join is called the Services Club, which what they do, even though that name sounds terrible, I think the Services Club is not a good name for any club. What they make him do is actually help other people that have requests. So if someone comes in and goes, hey, I need a request, I need something, I need help with this, they have to do it. Now, what's funny about this is it really sets up a very interesting thing because almost in a way you think, oh, well, these two are just going to fall in love and it'll be one of those typical romance stories. Not really. Hiki is, again, a lone wolf. He's one of those people that's very cold. And that really creates some very interesting concepts with him and Yukino. And also another member who joins, who you see in the picture right there, Yui. She also joins, and it's an interesting thing because you almost want to call it like a kind of love triangle. You almost want to say that, but this show is not about that. The show that always takes a back burner completely. I'm not gonna even call it a harem. I'm not gonna call it any of that because it's not even close to that. What this show is about is kind of just seeing the world from someone who is a lone wolf. And that's something I don't see very often in anime. Anime always typically goes for the popular guy or the guy who is seemingly unpopular but then becomes like bursting popularity. This show takes it a whole different route and has it where you see the world from a guy who just wants to be alone by himself. And he talks about how the world is from his eyes, how he's both hated by a lot of people but also not even seen by a lot of people. It's kind of sad. I found myself when I was watching this a lot of times going, that's kind of depressing. And it is depressing a little bit sometimes. That's one of the biggest flaws of the show is that I think if you don't understand the concept of being a loner or being by yourself a lot, and especially at school, it might hurt a little bit. Equally though, if you are one of those people that understands being lonely and or being very kind of lone wolf type mentality, you'll actually understand it even better. But even then, it's kind of still depressing in this way because Hachiman is actually a really cool character. Hiki is typically a character you would never see in an anime being the main character, but in this show he strives being the main character. He actually works so well, and a lot of the times the show will actually go about showing his qualities that, you know, people don't see because they don't recognize him being a nice guy, but he really is a nice guy. He's a caring person. It's just that he shows his care and affection by hurting himself in the process, and it's it's depressing in that manner. Like I have to keep saying that because I have to make you guys understand that this show is a little bit depressing. That's probably one of the biggest flaws of it. Now, don't get me wrong, though, the show is full of great stuff. Like, I mean, I love the animation for it. I think it's very simple animation, but it looks very nice. I really do. I think it strives being so simple because they're not trying to, you know, go for action sequences or stuff like that. They're actually just trying to go very talking head almost, where, you know, a lot of characters are just talking and, you know, manipulating certain things in their head about this and that and what's going on in the world around them. Character design wise, it's also kind of cliched in a lot of ways. I mean, Hachiman looks like your typical loner, but he's also, I think, represented in a way that makes him look like other lone characters from other anime out there. Same with Yukino, who is, you know, quote unquote his love interest in the show. You know, she's the same way. She looks like your typical, I don't want to say yandere or tsundere character, but she kind of has both of those qualities about her in many ways. Now, there's a lot of different characters that show up in the show, but I'm not going to ruin who they are because they really have a lot of significance to when they show up and when they pop up. You know, you have the very kind of popular guy who, Hyaman, who is very popular and, you know, seems to be really nice, but also you wonder, is that all just kind of an act? And, you know, it's interesting because this show reminds you of high school. You know, I had a vlog about that the other day where I was talking about that, you know, high school concepts, and this show reminds me of that because it reminds me of, you know, I've seen from both sides of the realm. I used to be a loner sometimes in high school, and equally I used to also, I mean, I made a lot of friends my sophomore year. I made a lot more friends. My I want to say like 9th, 8th grade, 7th grade. I was a very lone wolf type guy. I wasn't in big groups or anything like that. So I could see the realm from both ways. I could see the realm from, you know, being the lone guy, and also could see the realm for being very popular. It's interesting. It's something that you don't see too often in anime. That's what I loved about it, because this is something that, okay, yeah, it's high school again. It's got our high school protagonists, but at the same time, it's so different the way it's done and the way they kind of have these characters portraying as high school students. You know, not trying to go for anything crazy or wonky. They're just going for what it is like to be a lone character and to see the world from, I don't want to say a melancholy perspective, but that perspective where, you know, you make your world the way you make it in your head. Now, if I had to review, you know, my teen romantic comedy SNAFU from an A through F, I have to give it a B plus. It's not, you know, I was thinking of an A minus. I really was, but two reasons why I didn't give it a A minus. One, I think again, it's a show that if you don't understand this kind of concept, it might be lost on you. I think that a lot of people are going to watch this and maybe get bored of it or find it uninteresting. And that's a shame because it's not. It's really, I think, a very interesting show. I think it's done in ways that I just am blown away by. But equally, also another reason I think is also, yeah, it is a little depressing. I think the characters, you know, ride on that sometimes, where they go, you know, like for example, Hachiman, he hurts himself a lot to help other people, and in the process of doing that, you kind of feel like pains, especially, you know, if you do that for other people, if you're the one that's kind of getting hurt in the process of helping someone else. It gives you like the little pains in your heart, like, oh, that's depressing, that's a little sad. And that happens, unfortunately. That's one of the weaknesses of this show. But overall, though, this show is awesome. Again, the character pacing is amazing. The character kind of relationships that they have with one another is awesome. It's very different. The show is what I consider a unique anime in many ways. Now, this review, by the way, is only toward the first season. I will be reviewing the second season, but that'll be later on down the road because I didn't get time to watch the second season fully, and I don't want to review it yet. But overall, guys, that's it for this review. Again, Yuki, happy birthday, man. I really hope you know. I know today's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone else. I already probably said that, though, in my other video that's coming out first. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's going to be my top 10 best anime to watch during Christmas. But really, this was meant to be more of a gift to my friend Yuki, who really has supported me on this channel. And like I said, I will not be doing this all the time for people. I don't plan on doing that, but you know, so far I have 2 people to thank for my channel's success. I have like 3 people to thank for my channel's success, really. And I'm gonna plan on doing one more birthday video later, but it's not gonna be right now. It's gonna be way later. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the review. To those who it's not their birthday, hey, again, Merry Christmas, guys and girls. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. I hope everything you wanted, you get. And even if you didn't get it, hey, listen, be grateful you got something. Think that, you know, hey, today is a, you know, blessed holiday, and today's something that you really have to see that it's not always about getting. I know a lot of people lose that concept nowadays, but giving also is awesome to everyone. That's why I want to give you guys this review. Anyways, though, guys, have a good one. Until our paths cross again in the next review. Later.